Imagine tuning in for the heartwarming finale of the Great British Baking Show, only to be hit with a poignant reminder of loss that leaves you reflecting on the human side of your favorite TV escape. That's exactly what happened in the 2025 season's closing moments, turning a celebration of baking triumphs into a touching tribute that tugs at the heartstrings and makes you appreciate the unsung heroes behind the scenes even more. If you caught every episode of the Great British Baking Show, check it out here. https://decider.com/The Great British Baking Show. You'll recall how the finale wrapped up with the big winner announcement and sweet updates on the beloved contestants. But then came the emotional pivot. A simple black screen featuring a photo of a kind-faced man, accompanied by the heartfelt words, "In loving memory of Dan Blackman, 1974 to 2025. It's a quiet, yet powerful goodbye to someone who helped shape the joy we all get from the show. This isn't the first instance where the Great British Baking Show has honored a departed team member, adding a layer of real-life depth to its feel-good vibe. Just think back to 2022 when the Season 10 premiere was dedicated to Chloe Avery. More on her here. Cider.com/2022/09/16. The Great British Baking Show dedicated to Chloe Avery, a behind-the-scenes food producer, the creative force who dreamed up those tricky challenges and made sure every ingredient and tool was ready for the contestants. So who exactly was Dan Blackman? Explore more at https://Dan Blackman, and why did his passing resonate so deeply with the show's community? What made him such a vital part of this baking phenomenon? And how did his talents extend to other beloved programs? Let's dive into the story of this talented individual and the lasting impact he had on the world of British television, especially for those of us who turn to these shows for comfort and inspiration. Unveiling the man behind the edits. Dan Blackman's legacy on the Great British Baking Show. Daniel Blackman was a dedicated editor whose work quietly elevated some of the most comforting staples of British TV, including the Great British Baking Show itself. For beginners dipping into TV production lingo, an editor is like the storyteller's final touch, piecing together raw footage into seamless, engaging narratives that keep you hooked without you even noticing the craft involved. According to insights from Digital Spy, read their piece here. https://www.digitalspy.tv A692647. Dan Blackman, Great British Bake Off. Dedication. Dan hailed from the picturesque Cheshire region in England. He later pursued his education at the University of the West of England in Bristol, focusing on history and politics, a background that likely honed his keen eye for detail and narrative flow. Dan spent a solid 13 years toiling away in the BBC's bustling production world, contributing to educational and documentary-style programs that educate and captivate audiences. Titles like Planet Earth, The Future, which explored environmental themes with stunning visuals, and Time Shift, a series that revisited key moments in British history and culture, benefited from his editing prowess. These weren't flashy dramas, but thoughtful, non-fiction pieces that required precise cuts to maintain pacing and emotional impact, skills that would later shine in lighter fare. In 2011, seeking more flexibility, he stepped away from the BBC to embrace freelance opportunities, allowing him to collaborate across a wider array of projects. A quick glance at Dan's IMDb profile reveals a treasure trove of those quintessentially cozy British TV gems that feel like a warm hug on a chilly evening. We're talking about nature series such as Autumnwatch, Winterwatch, and Springwatch, shows that celebrate the UK's wildlife through beautiful edited montages of seasons changing and animals thriving. But here's where it gets especially close to home for baking fans. Starting in 2018, Dan joined the team for the Great British Baking Show, internationally known as the Great British Bake Off, for the next 5 years. He meticulously edited the footage captured in that iconic tent, transforming hours of baking action into the polished episodes we adore. He even found time to lend his talents to spin-offs, like Nadiya Hussain's delightful Nadiya's Everyday Baking. Learn more about Nadiya, https://decider.com/Nadiya Hussain, and the home makeover series Changing Rooms, where his edits helped highlight creative transformations with flair. Eventually, Dan transitioned to another gem from the same production house, Love Productions' The Great Pottery Throwdown. Catch up on it. https://decider.com/The Great Pottery Throwdown. Applying his skills to clay spinning much like the baking ones. Behind every seamless episode, it's folks like Dan who ensure the joy and drama feel authentic and unhurried. Public tributes from colleagues paint a picture of a truly admirable person. For instance, producer Julia Foote at Jules Foote on Instagram, https://www.instagram.com, shared a touching note calling him a gentle, intelligent man. It's clear he wasn't just skilled. He was someone who brought kindness and respect to every collaboration in the often high-pressure world of broadcasting. Dan's memory lives on through gatherings that honored his life. A funeral service in September, back in his Cheshire hometown, surrounded by family and close friends, followed by a more communal memorial in Bristol during mid-October. At just 51 years old, his sudden departure at such a vibrant age has left a void, prompting us to cherish the everyday creators who make our screen time special. But let's stir the pot a bit. Does a dedication like this, in a lighthearted show like the Great British Baking Show, risk overshadowing the fun? Or does it actually deepen our connection to the program by humanizing it? It's a point that could divide viewers. Some might see it as a beautiful touch of reality, while others prefer their escapist TV untouched by sorrow. What do you think? Should shows like this always include such tributes? Or save them for more serious formats? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear if this moved you or sparked a different take.